We all know about the ongoing conflict between Israel and Palestine, but how did it all begin? To understand the roots of this division, we first need to look at a term called Zionism. This will help us see how the Jewish and Arab populations came to form the states we know today, how Israel's expansion gained UN approval, and why peace agreements have struggled to end the resentment and violence. Zionism is the movement that called for an independent Jewish state. It gained significant momentum in the late 19th century, leading to a wave of Russian Jews migrating to their traditional homelands in Palestine. The political landscape changed dramatically after the collapse of the Ottoman Empire in 1917. Britain took control of the region, and the British Prime Minister, Arthur Balfour, lent his support to the idea of a Jewish national home. However, this faced strong objections from the Arab population throughout the 1920s and 30s, which stalled the creation of the state. After the Second World War, the horrific revelations of the Holocaust created a surge of international sympathy for the Zionist cause. But the Arabs, who had been the majority in Palestine for many centuries and considered it their land, remained fiercely opposed to any plan to partition the country. Unable to find a solution, Britain took the issue to the newly formed United Nations. The UN voted in favor of dividing Palestine into separate Arab and Jewish states. Britain, whose mandate to rule the area was set to expire on May 15, 1948, refused to implement the UN's plan. They considered it unworkable, especially since the majority Palestinian population was against it. In the ensuing chaos, Jewish settlers took up arms and seized control of the territory assigned to them. On the very eve of the British departure, the Jewish leader, David Ben-Gurion, proclaimed the new state of Israel in a ceremony in Tel Aviv. Just 11 minutes later, U.S. President Truman recognized the new state. As the British forces withdrew, armies from Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, and Iraq invaded in support of the Palestinians. This marked the start of the First Arab-Israeli War. The new state of Israel not only defended itself but also captured more territory, expanding its original borders by about 50%. The fighting officially ended in 1949 when the UN sanctioned this expansion. During the war, hundreds of thousands of Palestinians fled or were expelled from their homes, becoming refugees in the remaining parts of Palestine, which were then controlled by Jordan and Egypt. For many people after World War II, creating a separate Jewish state seemed like a moral necessity. However, establishing a state for a minority population, many of whom were recent immigrants, in a land long settled by Arabs was bound to create deep and lasting problems. The conflict quickly took on a global dimension. The strong U.S. support for Israel, for instance, drew the Soviet Union into the picture as a key arms supplier to the Arab nations. The tensions continued to simmer, and in 1967, the Six-Day War erupted. Israel won a decisive victory, further increasing its territory and establishing clear military supremacy in the region. Over the following decades, there were efforts toward peace, like the agreement with Egypt in 1979 and with the Palestine Liberation Organization in 1993. Yet, despite these agreements, the core issues of the conflict remain unresolved. The existence of Israel continues to trigger acts of war and violence, affecting lives both within the region and beyond. This is just a brief look into the complex origins of this long-standing conflict. Understanding this history is crucial when we think about the present and the future. Given this background, it raises a difficult question: will these two peoples ever find a way to live together in peace? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into history.